Either you get good grades or you'll never make anything of your life. This one is mind-blowing. Ask any entrepreneur, the C+ students or high school dropouts. There is almost no correlation between good grades and making something of your life. It's a BS story. Either you clean your room or you're grounded for a week. Really? Surely there are some other options. Maybe hire someone to clean your room? Just saying. You're listening to the Unshackle Your Life podcast with Debbie Colburn, the place to break through all of the hidden things that hold each of us back, things that scare us and things that challenge us, and things we're just plain fed up with. We talk all things money and business, big and small. We dive deep, we get real, and we get raw, discovering and exploring what is really possible for you. It's a restart. If you've ever struggled with shame, worry, or just plain self-doubt, if you've ever thought it's not enough when you looked at your bank account or your credit card, if you're sick and tired of living a cycle of crisis to crisis to crisis, no matter whether it's in your personal life, in your business, or your relationships, then this is where you need to be. We'll bring you new ideas, tips, and tactics, and connect you to the resources to get you unlocking your own shackles and release your unique abilities. No matter what's going on in your life right now, maybe you're in survival mode, just barely getting by, living day-to-day, paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're in a job or a career or running a business that is leaving you on empty, depleted, uninspired, or anything in between. I've got your back. Ready? So buckle on up, take a deep breath, and join me in a conversation about jump-starting your life and breaking free of your shackles and create that thing that you've been scared to ask for. Welcome to episode 95. Today I'm doing something a little bit different because this is a different type of topic. One of the turning paths in my journey was discovering my preferred form of sabotage, and that came from a list in a coaching group that I'm in. It was a simple list, broken down in 5 or 6 different areas of your life. And one after the other, I read the phrases, sentences that we say, that we have no idea of their history, and you just ticked off any one that resonated with you. Now, don't panic. I know you love to hear my stories. Well, because that's my thing. It would be a rare event for a podcast episode of mine to not have a story or two in it. So that's the plan. One of the things about having money or not having money is our inherited funky thinking. Stuff that maybe our parents said or some other relative, some thinking that a rational person really should question. Rational person, that's you I'm talking to. Yet we don't. It's a shortcut for us. In fact, it's cheating. It's an out. A trick to justify your actions. What is that, Debbie? I'm dying to know more. I'm curious. In psychology speak, we are talking about a cognitive distortion, a story you tell yourself that is absolutely not true, yet you believe it, and you never question it. And there are 16 of them. Today, we're diving into the world of either or. And the either or distortion is 100% based on deprivation, depriving yourself or someone else of something they want or that they need. It implies that there is no middle ground, no alternatives, no choice. It's either this or that. So before we start, I just want to say that as much as I've tried, and believe me, I tried, even after my 20-minute walk to and from Tim Hortons this morning, mulling it over in my head as I walk, I can't come up with a scenario where using either or is beneficial, except for one, when it's life or death. If you are in a bank robbery and a gunman has a .357 Magnum pointed at you and says, Either you lie face down and shut the hell up, or I'll shoot your head off. Just friggin' do it. You wouldn't question that, right? And you shouldn't. Any other time when you hear yourself say either this or that, that should be your cue to question what's in between. What are the other options? And start calling out your false beliefs. As we start, I just want to encourage you to just listen to these. Don't overthink it. Don't start getting up all in your head. When one resonates, when it goes, oh shit, that's me. That sounds like me. I've said that before. Hit pause and write it down in your journal. And then just come back and press the play button again and continue on. Now, I didn't group them on purpose. So you wouldn't prejudge. So you wouldn't go, oh, though mine are all in the such and such category. So here goes. They sound something like this. We either have lots of money or are totally broke. There's no in between. Either I'm scared to spend my money hoarding it, or I'll just blow it all. We can either go on vacation, or we can just put the money away for retirement. Either we pay off the credit cards or get a new car. I can either work full-time or be a good mom. Hello? That was my ex-mother-in-law. Every time I saw her or heard from her, it was always that I shouldn't be working because I couldn't be a good mother. Even though I was the primary income earner in our family, she even tried to guilt me into ironing the bed sheets. Yeah, that used to be a thing. So happy that I knew what was important to me and I didn't let that one derail me. Because it could have. It's, we comment, in 2022, we call that mom guilt. Either I abstain from drinking for my whole life or I'll become an alcoholic like my father. He either wants to pay for everything or nothing at all. I bet when you take the emotion out of that last one and look at life with perspective, this really isn't true at all, is it? I can either deal with the collection calls or simply ignore them. That's one strategy, but there's about 1,000 others in between those extremes that might just get you a better result. We can either shop at the dollar store or go without this week. We can either sell this thing or not pay the mortgage on time. We can either pay it in full or pay it on a payment plan. We can either pay it in full or put it on a credit card. Either we can live in the really nice place that we love, or we can settle for this okay place we really don't like. I can either get my hair done or buy groceries this week. I can either buy this new outfit for me or buy new shoes for my son. Every mom on here just woke up, right? How about your underwear? When was the last time you upgraded those? And I'm talking to you too, guys. I can either ask for a raise or make do with what I already make. Either I pay off my credit cards in full or we get an equity loan on the house. Either we move out of the city or we keep struggling financially. Either we file for bankruptcy or we'll never get out of this financial hole. Either we use a financial advisor or we'll do it all wrong. You guys getting the idea? They're extremes. They're stories. They're depriving you of something in the most of these cases. Either I can be happy or I can be rich. There is a possibility. There is a place that you can be happy and you can be rich. Where you can be rich and you can be happy. And where you can be poor and you can be happy. And where you can be rich and unhappy. I can either work longer hours or we can continue to struggle to make ends meet. Either we can buy organic or we can buy in bulk. Either we can buy the food that we love and that our body loves, or we can buy this cheap unhealthy stuff. Really, guys? Either we stick to our budget or we're screwed. Imagine how far you'd get if you stuck to that one, because it's so, guys, not true. Either I give in to the way she wants to live, or I'll lose her. Wow, holy relationship. Either we figure this out, or we're done. Either I go out to lunch with my coworkers, or I'm late on my rent or short on my groceries. Either you go to the bathroom here, right now, or you'll have to wait till we get there. Okay, guys, story time. I have a cousin whose whole family lived this scenario. In my family, we were just told to hold it in when my dad drove. My aunt and my uncle would get a metal can, like the ones apple juice used to come in, the big family size ones, and they cut the top out of it. And if you needed to pee on the car trip, that's where you went. Everyone in the car. On the trips that were 4 and 5 hours long, all 4 kids, plus my aunt. My uncle never peed on the trip. For real! And I know that almost every single one of you are parents, you have said that to your kids. Either you go to the bathroom now, or you'll have to wait till we get there. What is that telling your children? And I'm not just talking about going to the bathroom. I'm talking about deprivation, about basic human needs, that those aren't important. That's what we're telling our children. That's what we're telling our employees. Either you eat everything on your plate or you don't get dessert. My dad has told us that in his family, 6 kids plus mom and dad, if you didn't eat the icing on the cake first, like gobble it up, then one of his brothers or sisters would grab it away. He says this every single time one of us slowly savors the icing on a cake. The subtle, sneaky stories in your family. Either you eat all your veggies or we'll give the cake to your brother. Either you get good grades or you'll never make anything of your life. This one is mind-blowing. Ask any entrepreneur, the C-plus students or the high school dropouts. There is almost no correlation between good grades and making something of your life. It's a BS story. Either you clean your room or you're grounded for a week. Really? Surely there are some other options. Maybe hire someone to clean your room? Just saying? Either you load the dishwasher or you can't have any friends over. Either you get the most expensive one or don't even bother buying one. Or, get this, either you buy the cheapest car or you've wasted your money. Wow! Pretty sure that's not true. Ask anyone who bought a 2012 BMW Series 5 or 6 or the 2017 to 2019 Lamborghini Aventadors S-Coupes. They can attest to the fallacy of that statement. You can waste a lot of money on a high-end car as well. Searching for evidence to prove that your statement is false. Either you come home on time or we'll lock the doors. What is that telling your children? Yes, be respectful of time. Totally get that. But if you're not on time for something, if you're not there when someone else says, then you are going to be locked out. You are going to be shut out. You are going to be homeless. You are going to be, really? Either you do exactly as I say or you'll lose all your privileges. That one is so nasty. Either you cut out all the junk food from your diet or you'll die. Imagine that. If you even have one bag of Cheetos, or in my case, Fritos, that's what they're called, Fritos. they're greasy and they're salty and they're really friggin' awesome. But if you don't cut that out, you're going to die? Yeah, if you're having a bag of them every day, you might. But if you allow yourself one every month or something like that, a handful, a cupful, you are not going to die. Either turn down the volume or you'll go deaf. I am not deaf. And I love my music cranked way up. Like right now, as I write this outline, might there be some time limits to this? Proximity of speakers, so many other factors. Either give it your all or don't bother even doing it. You guys have heard that. You probably even say that to yourself. Either I do this now or it'll never get done. Wow. You are here. That's it. This is a shorter one today, but I hope you stopped and made note of the ones that really kind of resonate. And there are hundreds of them. This is really just to get you thinking and start recognizing when you start to use either or, because it really is, they're lies. So how many of you had a few eye openers? Now, over the next day or two, I want you to sit down with your list that you put in your journal. Maybe you only have one, maybe you have 10, maybe you have more than that. And just write out anything that comes to you that would be what I call middle ground. Remember I said either or is about deprivation, depriving yourself or someone of something they want or need. So as we wrap up, let's look at one I'm sure that most parents have said to their kids. Either you go to the bathroom now or you wait till we get there. What are we telling them? That a basic human need, peeing and pooping, has to fit into your schedule. Really? And I'm guilty of that one too. And when we get into a work environment, we're pigeonholed into only being able to pee on a break. Because if we go and we start, getting up in the middle of a non-break period to go to the bathroom, we can lose our job. There's another one. Either we pee during break or we lose our job. They're so insidious. They really are. And at the highest level, this one simple distortion tells a person that their own needs are always less important than someone else's agenda. Holy crap! What about either you clean your plate or you won't get dessert? Can I just say obesity epidemic? How about why don't you eat till you're full and then wait and have half the dessert a half an hour later? Or a zillion other possible combinations. Yet again, we're telling them that if you don't do something that might be totally against what's good for your body and your mind, that you will not get any form of reward. Really? Shouldn't it really be the other way round? That if you respect what's good for your body and your mind, that you can be rewarded? As an example, let's look back at the last one that I put in there. Either I do this now or it'll never get done. Totally, 100%, unequivocally untrue. What if you just delegated it to someone? What if you put it into your planner for next week? What if you made a decision that it really isn't all that important anyway and you just deleted it? And what if you asked a friend to help you? Does that make sense? Can you see how it will never get done is an extreme? It's the extreme end of the scale, a false extreme. Now, I'm not saying that any of these is right or wrong, better or worse. I'm simply saying, please be mindful of your words, of your phrases, of your sentences, of what story they might be telling you that's false, that isn't serving you or your vision or your family or your dreams. Over the next few months, I'll be doing a few more episodes on some of the other cognitive distortions, and I'll share the story of my dad demonstrating 3 cognitive distortions in one short conversation and how it opened both my mom and my dad's eyes. There's a lot here, and my wish for you is that you take away something that today will encourage you to take the next step, to start building a bias for action into your daily life. You already know that your thinking is what drives everything in your life. So we've created a new daily affirmation that's sent to you every day for 90 days so that you can unlock every day with intention. And you can just go sign up for it for free at debbiecolburn.com/unlock the day. All one word. So we're here. We're at the end, and it's time for the question that I ask everyone at the end of each episode. What is the best thing that could happen if you unlock just one thing in your life today? Hey, if this podcast got you thinking, please make sure you're subscribed and share it with anyone who needs to hear this. The link is in the show notes, and please drop us a review on whatever podcast player that you're listening on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, you name it. And make sure that you drop over to our website, debbiecolburn.com/links/ that's DEBBIECOLBOURN.com/links/ to get our brand new 7-day quick action guide and to check out what's coming up in 2022. And please make sure that you're following us on LinkedIn and on Instagram, just to keep you on your toes as a slightly different name at MS Debbie Colburn.